The empty chair at my dining table wasn't the thing that broke my heart. It was the tiny fingerprints that slowly disappeared from the window beside it. Children leave fingerprints everywhere. On glass, on mirrors, on refrigerator doors. When my grandchildren were little, I used to complain about cleaning them. At 85 years old, I would have given anything to wipe those little handprints away just one more time. Instead, I spent 5 birthdays staring through perfectly clean windows. If you stay with me, I'll tell you why my grandchildren suddenly vanished from my life, and how one forgotten voice message revealed a truth my own daughter had hidden for years. My name is Evelyn. I have 3 grandchildren. Or perhaps I should say I had them. Not because they died. Because one day they simply stopped coming. It didn't happen all at once. At first my daughter, Laura, canceled Sunday lunches. Emma has soccer. Jacob isn't feeling well. We're exhausted this weekend. Reasonable excuses. Then birthdays became video calls. Christmas became shorter. Summer visits disappeared completely. I tried not to complain. Children grow. Families become busy. Life changes. That's what everyone told me. So I nodded. Smiled. Packed away toys that no one played with anymore. Every September I still bought school supplies for the grandchildren. Not because they needed them. Because buying crayons somehow made me feel closer to them. The crayons stayed unopened in a kitchen drawer. Year after year. When neighbors asked about my family, I answered carefully. They're doing well. It was easier than saying, I don't know. One afternoon my youngest grandson, Noah, turned 16. I mailed him a birthday card with $50 tucked inside. A week later the envelope came back unopened. Return to sender. I stared at those 3 words until sunset. Had they moved? No. Laura still lived in the same house. I called her. Straight to voicemail. I left a cheerful message. No reply. Another week passed. Then another. I stopped calling. No mother wants to become someone her children avoid. That autumn I fell while carrying groceries. Nothing serious. Just a bruised shoulder. The emergency room asked for an emergency contact. I gave Laura's number. The nurse returned 20 minutes later. I'm sorry. No answer. I smiled politely. She's probably busy. She was. Just not with me. Winter came. Then spring. Then another Christmas without little footprints running through my hallway. By now, 5 years had passed. One rainy afternoon there was a knock at my door. I expected a delivery. Instead, a teenage boy stood there. Tall. Broad shoulders. Brown eyes. For a moment I didn't recognize him. Then he smiled. Hi, Grandma. Noah. He had grown 6 inches since I'd last seen him. Before I could speak, he hugged me so tightly that I nearly cried. I'm sorry. Those were the first words he said. I invited him inside. We sat at the same kitchen table where I used to help him color dinosaurs. Neither of us knew how to begin. Finally I asked, did I do something wrong? He looked confused. What? Why did everyone stop coming? His expression slowly changed. You really don't know? My heart sank. Know what? He reached into his backpack. Pulled out his phone. Opened old messages. Mom always said. He hesitated. That you didn't want us around. I laughed. A broken laugh. What? He nodded. She told us visits made you tired. That you complained after we left. That you said children were too noisy. Every sentence felt impossible. I never said those things. He stared at me. I know that now. I whispered. How? He took a deep breath. Last month Mom accidentally sent me a voice message meant for Aunt Melissa. He pressed play. Laura's voice filled my quiet kitchen. If the kids spend too much time with Mom, they'll start asking why she gave me less money than my brothers. Silence. Then her voice again. It's easier if they don't get attached. The recording ended. I couldn't move. Laura wasn't protecting the children. She was protecting a resentment she had carried for decades. When my husband died, we divided the inheritance equally among our 3 children. Laura had wanted the family cottage. Instead, it was sold and the money split fairly. She never forgave me. I never knew. Noah reached across the table. I argued with Mom. What did she say? She admitted she'd been saying things for years. So we wouldn't visit too often. I looked around the empty kitchen. The untouched crayons. The puzzle boxes. The tiny sweaters I had knitted and never given away. 5 years. Gone. Noah stood. Can I show you something? He walked to the hallway. Stopped beside the height marks still penciled onto the wall. I thought she'd painted these over. I smiled. I couldn't. He placed his hand beside the final mark. I'm taller now. I noticed. We both laughed through tears. The following Saturday, Noah returned. This time he brought Emma. The week after that, Jacob. At first they felt like guests. Then slowly, family. One afternoon Emma found the old drawer filled with unopened crayons. Grandma, why do you have so many? I smiled. I kept hoping. She hugged me without saying another word. Months later Laura finally came. She stood on my porch for nearly a minute before knocking. She looked older. Smaller somehow. I don't expect forgiveness. Neither of us cried immediately. I only wanted to explain. I shook my head gently. No. She looked surprised. Some things don't need explanations. They need honesty. She nodded. I was angry. I know. I stayed angry so long that it became easier than admitting I was wrong. We sat together until sunset. There was no miracle. No perfect ending. Some wounds close slowly. Others leave scars that simply become part of the skin. But the children came back. That was enough. Now my windows are covered with fingerprints again. Sometimes Emma apologizes before wiping them away. I stop her every time. Leave them. She laughs. They're messy. So is love. If someone is keeping you away from a person you love, ask why. Don't borrow someone else's bitterness without first looking for the truth yourself. 5 years disappeared because no one asked one simple question. Now, every morning, sunlight shines through dozens of tiny fingerprints on my kitchen window. People would probably call the glass dirty. I call it proof. Some messes are worth keeping.